Hello and welcome to another edition of Stock Watch. So as we enter the middle of the trading week, we hear that the head of accounting at Deutsche Bank, Andreas, is temporarily stepping aside after Munich prosecutors launched a criminal investigation into the potential violations of professional duties during Wirecard audits. So Wirecard was once a high-flying German payments firm, and they had one of Europe's biggest post-war accounting frauds after it disclosed that over 1 billion euros of corporate cash did not actually exist. So German audit watchdogs naturally were probing Mr. Leutscher, along with several other partners, told Munich prosecutors that he may have acted criminally and untoward. So internal sources said the reshuffle was necessary to give Mr. Leutscher sufficient time to focus appropriately on investigations and inquiries into the collapse of Wirecard. At the same time, Deutsche Bank obviously need to make sure that the responsibilities of the chief accounting officer continue to be fully resourced at a senior level. So such a big role in Deutsche Bank needs to be covered while this investigation goes on naturally. It also brings into play Commerzbank, who along with Deutsche Bank provided the bulk of funding for Wirecard's acquisition of a pair of Indian companies referred to in the fraud allegations against the defunct German payments group. So with both of Germany's major banking institutions in the headlines for potential fraud, how can this affect the markets going forward, and what are the potentials when the markets really start getting into gear? So I've got it on a 4-hour chart at the moment for Deutsche Bank. I just don't want to look too long term. I want to see what the intraday possibilities are. So at the moment, I've seen that it's in a nice ascending channel, but what I've seen on the momentum indicator recently is the fact that it looks like momentum is exhausting quite a lot. So from this peak that we had a few weeks ago, it's just a continuous descending line down, and we could see exhaustion come into play very soon. So I'll just zoom into the areas of interest at the moment. And what I'm seeing at the moment is prices are starting to wane now. So I'll be looking at this lower channel, which is also a confluence line of this base line for the Ichimoku indicator as well. So I'll be looking for prices to start moving down slightly, a few euros, and then I'll be looking at certain peaks for different support lines as well. So this is what the basis is for the next few trading sessions, going probably into the weekend, depending if we hear more detrimental news as well. When I looked on the daily chart on Deutsche Bank and all the European banks, we've had a steady incline from the previous lockdown for the pandemics, but you know, there can only be a certain amount of bias towards the upside. So I'm looking now that prices will start to wane. There's nice exhaustion, nice divergences on a lot of oscillators that I've been using as well. As you can see, higher highs but lower lows on the lower highs on the indicator as well. So we're just looking to see now when prices start to fall, if they're going to fall any further and possibly start pushing towards the recent peaks, and then that will give a bit of cloud engulfment as well, which will bring prices lower. So this is what I'll be looking at on Deutsche Bank. Commerzbank, on the other hand, we're just seeing now a slight ascendancy as well, but again, prices are starting to wane, and we're just looking to see if they're going to wane anymore. We've got a little bit of a divergence here, bringing prices potentially lower. We're just tipping the top border of the Ichimoku cloud as well at the moment. This is a good indication that if prices do touch this, then there could be a cloud engulfment weighing in lower. So I'll be looking at this for a support. As you can see, it's slightly bouncing at the moment, but if we get a little bit more downside, then we could probably see prices fall even further. And then I'll be looking at previous peaks down to just under €5 as well. So something to look out for in the next few days in the European banking sector. So that's all from the Stock Watch today. Thank you very much for joining me. And if you have any comments or queries, please feel free to add them to the video, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Have a great trading day ahead, and bye for now.